where you live, but you're still technically on this probation here in Texas, so it's not like the whole well, no, there's one fee, but you will have to report either by mail or online here as well each month. So you're going to go in person there, and you also have to report here. So you can't forget to do that mail-in or the online reporting here, because that would be a violation. It's just a lot of people they think they're doing everything right because they're reporting in person over there, but you have to stay in touch with us as well. All right.
Judge, real quick, I apologize. There is one thing, and I spoke to Mr. Megan about this previously.
That's right.
It seems like maybe a new charge in Georgia. I don't know that, sir. Well,
Pause for a moment. What appears to be a calm, routine courtroom check-in is actually the beginning of a felony probation case. One misstep from this point could result in years of incarceration. Observe carefully how the judge establishes authority and sets expectations.
I don't know the circumstances of this, nor do I recognize the charge.
Yeah.
And it's equivalent with us.
Hang on, ma'am.
So that's the only thing that's new that I wasn't aware of, and I spoke to Mr. Megan about before, and he was going to find out.
Okay, so whatever you have to take care of, obviously in Georgia with regard to...
I don't have anything to take care of. That was what they were including in Georgia.
That's the case, Judge. But
I got the car accident. They arrested me because I had a warrant here.
I got you. Okay. All right.
But I believe they don't. Well,
Okay.
there's nothing to deal with. I just had to find out.
That's where you got arrested, and then they transferred you here?
I didn't get transferred. I just had to sit in jail for 44 days.
Okay.
To find out.
Okay. Got it.
that's
Okay.
sufficient for the state.
All right.
I just didn't know.
Okay, Ms. Cassidy, I'm going to...
This stage is critical. Many probation violations occur at this point. When probation is transferred between states, it does not replace the original terms. It adds to them. Fail a single online check-in in Texas? That constitutes a violation. No exceptions are allowed.
Find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient
I have a question. This packet, it said like I had to do like 300 hours of community service.
So we'll explain all that to you in probation.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're on felony probation. It's required. If you talk to your probation officer, if you're doing everything right, sometimes they waive part of those. Sometimes they don't. It depends on how you're doing. Do you understand? This could be a lot worse, so you probably need to fix your attitude real quick. Because having a bad attitude with me does nothing good for you. Okay. So I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time, I'm going to follow your agreement and defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 4 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine and to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is an excellent opportunity because you do not have a felony conviction on your record. And if you successfully complete the probation, at the end, the case is actually dismissed. You will never have a felony conviction. The other side of that, though, is if you violate any condition of probation, you can be brought back into court, you could be found guilty and sent to prison for anywhere between 2 and 10 years. Do you understand? Okay. One thing is
44 days in jail. Note the judge's demeanor. No sympathy, no emotion, just facts. In the courtroom, time already served does not necessarily mitigate consequences. The judicial process continues regardless of past suffering.
on these types of probation, if you do everything you're supposed to, I sign early terminations from probation all the time. But it means you have to get it all taken care of early and up front. So take care of everything, and then there's the possibility of getting off early. I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation's going to call you up to her desk when she's ready to go over your paperwork. All right, good luck to you, ma'am. Thomas Fisher, Mr.
Now comes the moment judges scrutinize most. Questioning court requirements is permitted, but attitude matters. In legal proceedings, demeanor can subtly determine whether the judge shows leniency or enforces strict measures.
Good, thank you. How are you?
This is his father, Judge. We're bringing him up. I don't know if you want to put this on the record or not, but since this case has been initiated, his father has been essentially acting as a guardian for Chad's whole life. We've gotten that formally done. So I want him to at least be available to participate if Chad has any questions or anything like that.
Okay, and so
he is technically legally under guardianship at this time, and so
okay.
that's why there's two signatures on the plea rejection form, and Mr. Hoffpower, I think, is aware of all of this.
Well, he spoke to me prior to this.
Okay. All right, you're Chad Cracknell?
Consider this carefully. One missed report or failed condition can convert deferred probation into actual prison time of up to 10 years. Legally, this is equivalent to navigating a narrow tightrope with no margin for error.
And Mr. Cracknell, in cause number 22, hold on, let me get Cause number 22, 39948, you're charged with the second-degree felony offense of solicitation of prostitution from February 26th of 2021, and that's for under 18. And what that means is that if you go to trial and you're found guilty by a jury, the range of punishment would be between 2 years and up to 20 years in prison. Do you understand? And I have here on the computer a plea bargain rejection that you've signed, and it looks like your dad and your attorneys, that shows that the district attorney's office has made an offer if you wanted to plead guilty for a 10-year term in prison, but you would serve that on probation instead of in prison. Do you understand what they have offered you? And you have every right to reject that and have a jury determine if you're guilty, and that jury can decide what your punishment is. And if you go forward, I just want to make sure you understand what your options are if you wanted to enter a plea of guilty today, what the consequences could be if you go to trial. And do you understand all of that?
Yes.
And do you want to reject that offer and have your case set for trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll get it set on the trial docket and your lawyers will begin preparation for trial, okay? Y'all are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Again, you are Carolyn Whitaker. And is the offer in each case, or is it in one and
Large degree felony.
with a dismissal of the other, or what?
Would be, if a cap, it's a cap offer with the dismissal.
With the dismissal, I'm gonna,
If we need to do another one,
no, I just want to fill in the dismiss cause number with everyone's permission.
That's good for you. I'm
If that's
sorry.
part of the plea bargain. No, that's okay, reject.
Much more high-tech down here.
I know. When it works, we are.
I had to get some help.
It is nice once you kind of get used to
It is.
it, but, okay. So, Ms. Whitaker, in cause number 24, DCCR 2182, you're charged with the first-degree felony offense of aggravated sexual assault from September 17th of 2024. And what that means is that if you go to trial and you're found guilty, the range of punishment is between 5 years and up to 99 years or life in prison. Do you understand? And I have here on the computer a plea bargain rejection that has your signature with Mr. Morian's that shows that the state has offered, if you wanted to enter a plea of guilty, for a cap of 40 years in prison, which means you would be leaving your punishment up to me, but if I followed that agreement, I couldn't give you more than 40. I can give you 40, I can give you less, I can consider whatever. That would all take place later at a sentencing hearing. You have every right to reject that and have your case set for trial. I just want to make sure you understand all the consequences and possible options. And do you understand that? And do you want to reject that offer and have your case, both cases set for trial? And I don't think I said it, I talked about it, but that part of that plea offer would be for a dismissal in the injury to a disabled individual. Do you understand that as well? Okay, and so I want to make sure that after today, you understand as well that I will not accept, once cases are on my trial docket, I don't accept plea agreements like the same one unless there is new information that either your attorney or the state's attorney did not know today. So once it gets on the trial docket, it's expected to go to trial. If you wanted to change your mind and enter a plea, it would be to something different than this. Do you understand? Okay, we'll get it set on the trial docket. Mr. Moriam will begin preparation for